Hi, Metal Dogs. This reading is for you, those of you born in 1970. Darn, I had it on my to-do list to look up when that Chinese year ended in 1970, because there's some people who in January, I think all of January, you're still Metal Dogs. So, and we'll be generous and include January 2020 should you want to be in here, but this reading is for people born in 1970, 50-year-olds, as we are, more and more of us 50. This reading is for you, and it has to do with this new year and what it brings. And of course, I will identify our Chinese New Year, and I will also do a New Year reading for you then. But Westerner that I am, here is our 2021 reading for Metal Dogs. I've done a sexual tarot readout layout here. I still have to take notes on that, so I did that first. And as it comes in, I will include this in here. So if you're interested in your romantic and sexual life, let me tell you this. If you want a much more frank sexual tarot reading, check out Sassy Scorpion. She's great down in Austin. Doing some really, really compassionate readings. She's real tough, kind of bosses the cards around. She knows she's not afraid. But then some of the most compassionate readings I've seen, because she's looking at love, she's looking at sexuality, and she's really helping those of us that go there with, she also looks at career. I never want to watch career readings. And honestly, love hasn't been something, but I really like how she reads the cards, so I recommend her to you. Anyway, we'll begin here together with a card from Oracle of the Moon, which has volunteered itself. The card is Power. The card is Power, the full moon power. So we just had a full moon in Cancer, and that the effect of that will still be with us. Let's look here in the book as well really quickly for number 16. What is this all about? Power. Step into your true power. Shine brightly. Do not hide who and what you are. The time is right to attract big things for yourself. Ancestral energy is important. Open your mind to larger possibilities. Big magic can be wrought. I have power. It is real. Okay. So we will see how we Metal Dogs are supposed to use our power, to come into our power. And as I've been saying, when you're 50, you kind of know who you are. You're comfortable in your skin. You got the career where it's at. And some of us are late bloomers. Sometimes we have to get sober before we can really get on that track. But there's other ways of knowing your power, right? It looks like from the astrological alignments that we're in, and some like really fantastic things that are coming in. Like apparently our galaxy is moving through these energetic fields that they haven't been through in 12,000 years. And so people that think in terms of energy are expecting some kind of spiritual downloads, some sort of ascension. And all of this is very new to me, but what's really cool is that it resonates totally with what's coming up for me in the cards. I'm also seeing from the sexual tarot that there's been some loss that you need to address, that it looks a little bit like there might be something that you might need to amend, and with a gift, and that you may be struggling with being reserved or cool and not opening up about your feelings, but so you may not be aware of that, and that the Lovers is in the future. And I like this. We'll see what happens as we pull more cards, but the Lovers in this deck is about emulating nature in your seduction. That nature can be imitated, and it especially points to magic perfume. But you're supposed to move on from just being shallow and attracting through little gestures, and move into your power is definitely a part of this sexual tarot reading. I'll tell you more as it comes up. Okay, I'll try to make it a part of your narrative here, Metal Dogs. Okay, so let's shuffle these and cut this deck and pull a release, embrace, hidden influences, and future. We're cutting the deck for Metal Dogs. Well, the cards want to volunteer stuff here. Truth, it says. I don't really know where that should have gone. Okay, so that is our release, the truth card. Release this truth, or you know what it is you're supposed to release. This little sort of shallow gesture that's represented here actually by the stars. The star card in normal tarot, I don't want to use the word normal with respect to sexuality. In your usual everyday traditional tarot, the star is about total wish fulfillment. And I keep seeing this coming up. I think it came up in the Libra reading. The star comes up as a fantasy of what wish fulfillment will look like that you need to release. And the truth, you need to see the truth, the true way to fulfillment, okay? Not this kind of shallow, trying to be attractive stuff. Like, we're 50, we're done with that, right? We're in our power. We don't have to be pretty anymore. I mean, we just get more gorgeous with age, right? Silver hair, wrinkles that talk about the kind of life we've had, the thinking that we have done, our experiences, the depth of our hearts. All of this beauty that we are is much greater than just this facade that is meant to attract us as if we're objects, right? We don't need to be objects anymore, and that's not what I want. I've done that my whole life. I've hustled, try to use my charm and my good looks, and frankly, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore, and I don't want a person that's going to pick me for that reason. So whether this is about romantic love or not, we have included that. Embrace this Three of Swords. That's a tough thing to embrace. And that completely goes with the card I got in the sexual tarot, the Three of Cups. I don't really know what these images have to do with what they are about. They're quite explicit, and I won't show them to you. So get your own sexual tarot deck. I highly recommend it. It's fun. This Three of Cups in the sexual tarot is that there has been a heartbreak, and that there is a way through that heartbreak. The Three of Cups is often about friendship, but it's also about reconciliation. And that's what I see here, that of someone who's had their heart broken, and they need to embrace that process of hope, the hope after healing from a Three of Swords. This is a very painful looking heart stabbed through 3 times. What are these, claws or antlers? This is exactly what my heart has felt, and you can see the shades there on the ground. Like, this can be a trap of obsession, but it's also necessary to be down here in the darkness in order to rise again into your full power. So embrace whatever this pain is, but also embrace the hope represented in the sexual tarot as this egg, which is a promise of relief from heartbreak. Hidden influence, we have the Queen of Pentacles, Miss Security. This card tells us there's some coolness here, and you need to warm it up here. You need to encourage your partner, the people around you, to be generous, both materially and emotionally, instead of cold. And that this, what I think of is, maybe it makes more sense to me to think about this as a couple or as a people. There's a need to be open-hearted and intimate, just truth-telling and generous, and expect the best of others instead of the worst. That's what generosity means to me. And that this will create security. So this could be in your relationship. It's not seen to you that there is a problem of coldness in your relationship, but it could also be on a larger scale. I think because we've all been isolating and staying safe, and we're afraid of getting sick from one another, that we are going to have some work to do to melt our hearts, right? To be in our hearts. And there's lots of help out there in the cosmos for doing that. There's all kinds of really great information out there for us on that. Hidden is this sort of hibernation, this bear, and the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a part of this coolness. It may be that you're coming off as someone who would rather be all alone. Busted. I'm feeling that lately. The heartbreaks of the past. I'd rather not embrace future heartbreak. These cards are saying, hope your heart will heal. I see this Three of Swords. It says embrace the possibility of getting hurt. Even if somebody doesn't betray you, abandon you, and neglect you, what if they die? I mean, we're getting old here, right? Honestly, I don't feel old, but so yeah, I might be, wanting to be alone in my little cave and safe. So I might be a little cold. This might be interfering with my ability to connect with others. The future in the sexual tarot is the Lovers. So Lovers means a choice, a future choice. But it also means like true love with the person that brings out your best, that you get to be yourself with. They don't change, you don't change, you know who you are. You're both fully in your power. You have a kind of higher love that's spiritual. I mean, that's a great future for 2021. And it doesn't have to be a new relationship. It can be within the relationship that you're in, that you have this great partnership with this person that you've been loving, that maybe they hurt you or you hurt them, and and as a result there's coldness, and maybe you'd rather be alone. Okay, all right, we get the Moon. We get a little mystery in our future, a little of the unknown, a little of the intuitive, the feminine. I love the Moon as our future. I think there is a lot unknown for us metal dogs. I think we actually got this in the last reading, that there was some kind of, I don't remember, I might be wrong. And I'm trying to practice Satya, which is that I know what I say is true. It's hard when you're hustling on a tarot channel, right? No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I'm telling you what I see, and I believe what I'm telling you. Okay, honestly, I mean it. Trust me, Ace of Swords. This is a part of our release. Let's clarify that and how it relates to the stars. Okay, now the Ace of Swords, we're releasing some idea of the truth. The bats, they are very good at finding their way. They have an intuitive knowing, wisdom. In fact, I think I brought this up before. Check my work, but I read, and my mom suggested that I read about this, that bats, one stays in the cave and the other goes out and gets food. The one in the cave knows how to get there without even being told. So when the one bat gets back, the other one's already, there's a kind of knowing that bats have. And so this truth under the stars, it's suggesting to me that we need to move into greater authenticity instead of these trite little gestures that are shallow and beautiful and promise wish fulfillment, the kind of playfulness, which isn't bad. We're just being told to release it. So I'm trying to read it as like, yeah, I don't want total wish fulfillment. Okay. A fun new love. I don't want that. Okay. What else about our release? We get the King of Swords. We get the Tower. And we get the Chariot. So these are really powerful cards that are part of our release. Okay, so the King of Swords is this really deep philosopher king. I think this is my favorite King of Swords. He's just a beautiful, he's youthful. He's kind of, he's our age. He's still strong in his body. He's got his weapon. He's not about war. He's about thinking. He's about reflecting perhaps on the battles that he has been through, right? So we're clarifying this Ace of Swords, and we get the King of Swords. So to me, this means some mature reflection on this truth that is a correction of something. There's been a surprise, a loss, a change. Perhaps you're stuck on this. You need to release this. He's reflecting on this, maybe overly much, because the third card we get is time to move on. The Chariot. It's like you've been stuck. You've been thinking so much about 2020, and now it's time to move on to 2021. Get on your Chariot and go forward with your life. We see the Tower. We know it's about this betrayal. This happened. Okay. How are we supposed to embrace this? So let's clarify that. We know what this King of Swords is philosophizing about the past, right? It hurt, whatever it was. And Three of Swords, though, it's a heart. And I always go to emotion, and I think most readers do that I know of. The swords are ideas. So the Three of Swords, it's an idea that you've developed about this heartache, and you're being told to have hope come from what you know of heartache. On one level, you've survived it. You lived through it. Your heart is going to heal if it hasn't already. And you don't need to be stuck in the past, dwelling on this surprise, this tower, this, if you had a relationship drama in the past, loss, a breakup, or even a betrayal, like somebody cheated on somebody, like it's time to move on from that. That's what we're told. But it doesn't mean you don't feel that, you don't learn from it. The pain that our heart lives through can be a great source of wisdom, right? And yeah, there is, my yoga teacher tells me, this unstruck place, and it is in our heart chakra, a place that has never been hurt. And so seek that place out here. I mention this because my eye is drawn in this Three of Swords to this little feather. And our Three of Cups, this reconciliation, this happiness, this sort of hope of promise of healing from heartache, that's that little feather there. That's that little feather of hope. It's a sign that things are going to change and get better. Okay, here we have a great Queen of Wands. She is going to get better. She's going to go out there and get what she wants. She's in her power, in her passion. She's creative. She's down to earth. She's fiery. Embrace that aspect of yourself. Even when you get hurt and maybe it feels like your light gets out, you have that. Trust your intuition. So when you get your heart broken, you might begin to doubt your intuition. This says, you're the I'm sorry, not the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, okay? This is a very feminine King of Wands. So like, level up here. You're the King of Wands. Trust your intuition. You're the sexiest guy in the deck here, right? You got power. You're creative. You're gonna make it happen. Yeah. Okay. And also, so trust your intuition and seek balance. Okay. Between, I would say, I mean, look at these two people. The spiritual, intuitive, intellectual high priestess. It's unusual to see her as this novel reading 19th century woman. That's what I think of. And novel reading in this turn of the century, that could really get you into trouble. It gets you out of narrative, into decadence. So the woman with a book, she's very much similar to this King of Wands, this passionate guy. But she's a lot more, I don't know. They look different to me. He's kind of out there with the looking good. She's very modest, seeking a balance here. And also, take care of the little ones, your inner kids, your pets. However it is that you do feed yourself. And take care of your loved ones if you have kids, for example. Or, I said pets. So there is hope. Trust your intuition. You have this mojo of a King of Wands. That is hope for whatever you want coming ahead. What you need to know, though, is even though you're the King of Wands, you're coming off as this Queen of Pentacles, as this Nine of Pentacles, like, I want to be alone, cold, all right? So you need to look at that. I don't know, you can stay alone if you want. All right, Three of Pentacles. This is about creating something in the 3D. This is our hidden influence with others. The stars. This was our release. So the stars. So there's some kind of, that is still haunting you. And Two of Cups. I knew it. I'm not surprised here. So I see this woman still, this bear. And I see it again in this woman here. She's playing the sad songs at home, perhaps taking lots of baths, crying in the bath, right? She's thinking about this thing that she had to release, this wish that she had in the past. It broke her heart. You can see how sad she is. Even though this is the star, it's wish fulfillment. So she thought she had something, and now she's making beautiful music from this sorrow, right? So that's a part of the embracing what your heart felt. Don't go numb. Feel hope. Feel the pain. Make beautiful art from it. And, this is a Two of Cups. This is a new love around you coming in. This could be you still thinking about the past. Because we get her playing music, making love songs, or maybe this thing that you're creating and you make music in a Three of Pentacles way. You're making an idea real in the world, and you do it with other people. So maybe this sorrow that's causing you to go into this creative mode is a place where you meet another person, or at least if we think of the Two of Cups more generally, not just as a romantic possibility, real equal reciprocal connections that were a part of your dream. It's what you're really holding on to this loss here. This Tower, no kidding. You're supposed to move on from it. You're supposed to know you're like the freaking King of Wands and the High Priestess, so trust your intuition. Take care of yourself. But this embrace of your broken heart means that from this comes this new idea, this new hope. And it looks like new love, new, really great, intimate connection. Future is the Lovers and the Moon, some kind of unknown thing. Can we know more about it? Let's see. Let's see here. lately I've been doing these readings and I just feel like I go into like a black hole and I'm talking and I don't even know. A lot of time has not passed. This is still a relatively short reading for me, but I just feel like it's a cool feeling. It's why I want to do this. I like how it feels, but okay, so let's find out about the future if we can. We have the moon, so we might not get to see past this mystery. What I do see is this cute wolf liberating this fish. This is the emotional realm, and the moon is all about the feminine, the emotional. And so I see in the lovers in your future a choice or a romantic relationship or some kind of a spiritual union, a spiritual collaboration here ahead that comes from this creative endeavor, that comes from your heartbreak. We see this wolf getting in the feelings, under the moon, comfortable with the unknown. And we need to be comfortable with the unknown. I'm reminded of this, the full moon card that is our basic question, our focus for this reading. She is feeling her power under the moon, and the moon is like the high priestess. It's that intuitive place. It happens in your dreams. You might be connecting with this Two of Cups lovers person in your sleep. It's really hard to know that. That takes a lot of faith. Okay, so there's the Eight of Cups. That is a place of needing to leave for greater emotional fulfillment. Queen of Pentacles, again, she was your coolness, like that need to be open and warm and generous. That's in your hidden influences. So we get her as well under this moon card. And thirdly, the Knave of Swords, some truth. The truth here throughout, we have you coming to terms with some truth that came of this pain, this loss. It could have been just 2020 hurt in multiple ways. But it's taught you something. It's given you creative genius. You're making art with others. You have truth to bring that comes from, and that's what I think about this, the Eight of Cups here. This is a card of you need to leave where you are right now is not emotionally fulfilling. This is often seems like a spiritual, solitary journey. The Queen of Pentacles, she knows her worth. She's very stable, secure. She's got everything. Sometimes we say that she needs security. That may be the truth that you need to understand, that you're overly invested in your security being in the 3D Pentacles realm, and it's actually not fulfilling. There's some truth that's gonna come to you ahead. It's not clear yet, right? It's under the moon. There's some truth that has to do with your ideas of security causing you to be settling for an emotionally unsatisfying life. Suddenly I think of a specific metal dog friend of mine. And then I want to say, like, it's not necessarily your story, my friend, but the truth will become apparent to you ahead about this emotional fulfillment and the security that the Queen of Pentacles believes that she needs. Yeah, it looks like something else is going to come as a result of the pain that you went through in this broken heart. Some kind of truth is going to come from that, some kind of beautiful creation. And it's very unknown what that is. It's coming in ahead. So you can look for that ahead. Right now you're kind of like, I don't know what will make me happy. But it's not this. That's your future. And then looking at your security issues and facing the truth and carrying that forward, perhaps passing that on to others. The truth is this little fish being released into the water. And that's what you want to look for. We got a sense of that here in the very beginning, that from this stars that we need to release, from this brooding on this heartache and this loss that we need to move on from, there is a truth, and it carries us through all the way into 2021 here. It's come out as a romantic individual reading here, but I can certainly read this in a more general sense, having to do with our political situation. You know, we've had a tower. We definitely had like a shocker of a recent past, and we get to move on from that. We get to look at this generosity in the future. There's pain and betrayal in what happened in our society in the recent past that we get to release, and from that comes this wisdom. This is your more collective narrative, and you should think of the creative ways that you can make real what you learned from that tower that you're supposed to move on from by creating something new. And you're going to have to deal with your security issues. You know, I think when you're 50, like I own a house, I have a job at a big institution. The stars say that institutions are going to come down, especially very vertically hierarchical institutions. I work at a very vertically hierarchical institution where 3 men in my department blocked my promotion. So I hit the glass ceiling. It's a pretty amazing feeling to hit that. I couldn't believe it. This is what I'm needing to let go of, right? And I have successfully been able to move into this creative work, my science fiction writing. I'm doing this in a very solitary way, but the intention is to, when it becomes something that's out in the world, to make it be a part of envisioning and helping us make a truly just society ahead. So if you have something like that going on for you, like you're working on it alone, it feels very much come from betrayal and hurt. It's right in the security place, you know, like all my life I want to be a historian. And all of a sudden, am I a historian? My colleagues say I'm not good enough. My book isn't good enough. And it hurt, man. It was humiliating. I thought, is it not good enough? None of the critiques that I'm able to glean are adequate to refusing me this promotion. I don't really understand these 3 guys and what motivates them. That's what I might be just needing to let go of here, brooding on that shit. I need to move on, right? So, yeah, that's my security. That's my Queen of Pentacles. I worked really hard to get out of vengeance. And I'm a Scorpio, so I have lots of ideas for humiliating back. But it's not how I want to live my life. Nope. I want the 2 of Cups. I want the Lovers. I want to be a part of positive change in the world. And if I'm not supposed to be a full professor, so be it. The fact is, I have plenty. And I get to do this with you because they basically liberated me from being their servant girl. You know, women do way more than men in academia. We're just expected to be there emotionally for our students. It's a part of why I want to be a professor. We do more work for the program. We're expected to. We know that there's a kind of agreed upon. I'm thinking of a book, Burnout, and I'm sorry I don't remember the authors, but it's a very readable, maybe slightly patronizing book about why women are constructed as givers, and that as givers we're supposed to support these guys who then punish us for not being able to accomplish as much as they in their liberty have accomplished. Then you add queerness, poverty, dysfunction, our society that is shrinking opportunity every day. And, you just have to accept what is. You got to go on and make something beautiful out of it. Take this heartache. See the feather. Focus on that. That's your hope. Build that into a beautiful creation on whatever level you relate to this. And yeah, thanks for listening as I rant about my own personal career drama. It's my channel. I guess I get to do that. All right. Thanks, Metal Dogs. Have a great day.